There he is.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Coming to you live from the white wall, the only wall in our church that has no color, but you can see our doors in the background. So.
It's Sunday after the show.
Sorry, I think coming to you live. It's not like
It's time for
time for a what?
Sunday after the show, the
The
SASS.
SASS. What'd you do to your face?
I got hit by a swing.
Hit by a swing. Where was that? Where were you? Who were you with?
Mr. Bob.
Who's Mr. Bob?
Person that came over yesterday.
What does he do?
He fixes our bikes whenever he comes over.
Yes, he does. He's very nice. Do you know what he does other than fix your bikes and take you to the park?
What?
Do you know he's a pastor of a church?
Yeah.
Yeah? In Luquillo. He's a pastor in Luquillo. Can you say Luquillo?
You.
Luquillo, muy bien. Okay, back to everybody else now. Ah, yes.
So yesterday was
Bob
busy.
and baptisms.
Bob and-
Busy Bob and Karen. She start with a B though.
No.
And baptism.
Bob and Karen came to visit. They're a pastor family in Luquillo that's pretty much the opposite direction as far as you can go from where we live.
Yep.
On the island before you go into the ocean. So yeah, they drove across the island and we take turns going to see each other and they're always
Yep.
very encouraging. They've been here for much longer than
They've
we
been here
have.
for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Have a good sized English and Spanish church, and Bob is a great guy. He's
Yeah.
probably some of our favorite people on the island. I think at this.
He takes the
time.
kids for walks.
He does. He
and-
literally. The first time they met him, he's like, "Hey, let's go for a walk," and they
They're
all
like, "Okay."
followed him. We're
Yeah.
like, "That's weird." And so now they're like, "Mr. Bob is coming over," and yeah, he does. He brings his tools and like he worked on some of their bikes yesterday and just took them to the park and all kinds of stuff.
Have you ever met people though that you just instantly hit it off with and you just instantly kind of trust them and you connect and those have been those kind of people for us.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, they're definitely
Yeah,
that.
and we've known them
they've
for a
helped
few
us lot.
months.
How many years? We've known them for what, a year now? Probably a year now, I think.
Is it a year?
Yeah, almost a
might be
year.
close.
We went out there one time. We're like, didn't know what to expect, and we're like, yeah, we like these guys. So anyway, so they were over with us yesterday. We had a good time, and
We had
showed
fireworks
them-
last night.
We did. We showed them the church. We showed them the school. We have not shown you the school yet. We need to go do a video at the school. Maybe next week, SASS will do from the school. But we showed them the school that we want to get, and we showed them our church, and they liked it. You know, and he's very always encouraged. Oh, you have some great ideas. We swap ideas back and forth. He's very biblically knowledgeable.
The school he's referring to is a building that's abandoned, by the way, that we would like to have one day. If
Yeah,
God
we haven't
will
talked
let
about
us
that much.
know. So
We'll share some of that soon when we get
Yeah.
a little more information or when we get a chance to
it's
do
our
that.
vision to be
Anyway.
a permanent location for the church one day.
Yep, as well as other things. But yeah, so Bob was over. And fireworks, yeah, last night there were more fireworks. One of them exploded in our yard, I think. It was.
Yeah, I was gonna go out and get a video, and then there was one that exploded like right in our front yard. So
Yep.
we think it went the wrong direction. So we decided to stay in for that one.
We did, stay inside.
We thought we were
And,
gonna get another parade.
Yeah, we did.
When
not.
Sarah and I were out, we went and got haircuts over the weekend.
Yeah, see?
We saw people getting more of their trailers ready. It was like all lit up, and I think they took some through the square. But
Yep.
we didn't see them this summer.
We're gonna make a video soon. We're going light hunting on Thursday, and so we'll do some video about what the squares look like here, a couple squares. So we'll post that in our Navidad series on YouTube. So make sure you look that up.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe.
We do
so
more
you
than
get
the
videos.
SASS.
We do more than the SASS. We do the Christmas, and then we'll do some more stuff later. Some better stuff anyway. And then so Bob.
Like, looking under your
Boom.
nose, I think. Well, you have your angle.
Sorry, you like my
Like,
nose?
see if you
all right.
kept it clean or not.
Is that better?
Did you keep your nose clean today?
Nose is clean. I got my nose clean. Bob, boom, and then baptism. We baptized this morning.
Yeah.
Alfredo got baptized
So
today.
we told ourselves, get ready early, get to church early. That didn't happen.
Never
we didn't get
happens.
to church early because we had to fill up the cistern.
Sister,
The,
it's over there, the blue thing in the corner.
My legs.
Sorry, everybody. I don't think they were in the video.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll edit that part out later.
So we got here early. We knew we wanted to fill up the thing. We initially thought it wasn't going to work out.
Sorry, still haven't. Sorry about that.
We're just gonna leave it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it.
We're just
Whatever.
gonna go.
Sorry. Just
Yeah, we're comfortable. We're in comfortable mode after church.
Yep.
So we initially thought that it wasn't going to work out because we understood last night, according to the weather station, we were going to have
Oh, I don't know. Silly
4 to
faces.
6 degrees lower than normal temperature, 4 to 8 degrees. It may not sound like much, but we have like a 10 to 20 degree fluctuation in temperatures all year long. So just a few degrees makes a big difference. And there was supposed to be some rain showers of some sort. And here, if they get wet outside, they immediately have to go take a bath. They won't let their kids go play out in the yard if it's in the rain, nothing like that. And so we knew this was not gonna go well if it was raining.
Did not
But
rain. It's a beautiful day outside, and
yeah.
it's nice and dry and warm.
It's still on the cold side, but for us, it's cold for us. But you know, it's been like what 69 at night.
69,
That's a big
70,
deal.
yeah, which is wonderful because it's
So,
normally 80.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And so they said the water was cold, but the last time we baptized, it'd been raining and it was
And it was
cold
in the
too.
ocean,
So
it's
the
cold, yeah.
ocean's not raining warm.
So we got him in the thing, and he got here like bring change clothes, get ready. And then I haven't practiced baptizing people in this thing yet. So we filled up. We brought our hose, and of course, the hole we had for the hose apparently it got bigger, or is a different
No.
hose. Different hose.
It's because I told you
She's
to
like,
bring the
bring-
other hose.
She told me to bring the other hose, but I think the hole got bigger because the kids broke off the plastic. But
I said bring the other hose, and you
And I
said no,
didn't.
it'll be fine.
it was fine. It just,
It's the same hose. It's the same size.
so she put a plastic bag in the hole instead. It's not the same. It was not the same water going everywhere. And so we wasted 400 gallons of water today.
No, we didn't. It had a leak, but it was a slow leak.
I'm kidding about
Jeremiah.
that. We filled it up with like 400 gallons of
Jeremiah,
water.
this is not the
We don't pay a
Jeremiah
water
show.
bill. Our
Say
owner
no.
pays the water bill. So if he comes and asks me what we're doing,
He
we'll be
won't do
like,
that if you let him actually be on the screen instead of up your nose.
I'm sorry. My nose instead. This is the nose
Tell him the
video.
top of the screen down.
I don't know how to do this.
There you go.
I'm showing legs and noses. And...
Just
All
show
right.
your earwax plug.
Anyway, so we filled it up during the first service. It was filling while we were preaching. Well, I was preaching, and we were singing Christian music and doing all the things. And
And
were
all the
coming-
people kept saying, "It's not gonna fill up in time. It takes hours to fill up cisterns."
Well, now we know it takes about 30 minutes to fill up. a
No,
cistern.
it was good.
It was
It-
fully filled and overflowing by the time we went outside. It was great. And so we had everybody let the people from the Spanish service get here, did the baptism. At the beginning, Pedro sang a song for him. And then the cool thing was, we had one family, they have a wedding day. You're going to have to go the opposite direction, like an hour away from the church past their house to go to a wedding. And they drove down just to see the baptism. They got here a little bit before and came and then talked off for a little bit after, encouraged him. Pedro was talking to him afterwards and encouraging him and talking with him a little bit. And he told me, Pedro is like the wisest person in the church, one of the guys, really, really good guy. And so it was encouraging him to be able to have some older guys there encouraging him.
His sister didn't even quite make it on
No,
time
they couldn't get
because
here,
they
yeah.
had some things out of their control, but they were running to try to get here, and so he had a lot of support around him.
Yeah, and the
to
cool
do
thing
this.
is we didn't know until this morning. He's been asking for Sundays off work. His boss was like, "No, we don't give anybody Sundays off work. You have to work on Sunday." And he's like, "I need Sunday off. I have baptism. I want to be there. I want to be able to stay and get baptized and stay."
Not have to run to work.
And his boss was like, "I'll give you Sunday off." But he's like, "But hey, if you work Sunday, it's overtime. You get extra pay. If you work this week, it's gonna be overtime." And he had to turn down. He needs the money. He turned down overtime pay to come to church today for more than 2 hours and get baptized. And so that was cool. And we didn't know that part until this morning, but
Yeah.
he was telling Kristen about that. And he's talking to me some about his work situation and things, feeling like living as a Christian when others are not, and what that's like. And I'm sure many of you that are watching work a regular job, you know how that feels.
Yeah. And their family's distracted. They have 2 different people in the hospital. They
a
have
lot
various
going on,
other things going on. So
Yep.
there's a lot of temptation, a lot of reasons for him not to get baptized this week.
But it worked out. It was
he did.
exciting. It was
He
fun.
did, and he had determined that this was going to happen. And we were a little concerned he was going to get caught up with a couple of excuses, kept getting put off. But no, he did.
Nope, he
God
told
was
him to
in
do
it,
it,
and he was very much ready. And it was such a sweet time. Like everybody, it excites the whole church.
Yeah, we'll post a video later, and you can watch
Yeah.
that instead of the SASS if you want. You don't want to see my wife's legs in the video.
I
You can
feel
watch
like-
baptism instead.
I feel like here it's a lot more emotional. The baptism services are
Yep.
a lot more emotional
Yep.
than they were in the States. And
It's a big step for a Catholic background person to get baptized, no matter, even if they haven't been in the church for their whole life. It's still part of their culture and upbringing. I see Joshua, like I can't see him behind me in the video, popping up
like a whack-a-mole.
like a whack. I'm gonna whack him. Anyway,
Mrs.
so it's a
Mouth.
big deal, and
Joshua.
to see him, he was raised Catholic, but he hasn't been Catholic for a long time. To see him make this commitment, and then we're gonna start doing discipleship on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock instead of on Saturday mornings. Yeah, we are. I know we're doing that Wednesday nights.
I like when I find out information by video.
It's great. It's always fun. I learned about your class. How was your class this morning?
It was good. I felt like at times I was a little too loud, like almost preaching or something. But it was good. We
can hear
finished
your
up
song.
we finished up a unit in with Egypt and Moses and all the things, and so just trying to say we went back and discussed why did God send them that way versus sending them a different way, and it was the verses specifically say exactly why God was doing that, and just how much he cared for them and didn't want them to be afraid to seeing the Philistines, but then also at the same time could truly show there was no other way but for God to do it. And then all the way through Hosea, through this unit, has been the comment about how, you know, I'm the same God that was in Egypt, and don't serve these other gods. It's only me. So
Yep.
it hopefully comes off. You know, with
That
kids you
door's
never.
locked.
With kids, you never really know for sure, but just want them to know that God is very real in their lives, and this is not these stories, but it's
Yep.
the same God today.
Yeah, some of the stories of the Old Testament can be quite spectacular, you know, and they're just the stuff that legends are made of and all that. And when you teach them in children's church without this full biblical perspective of the big picture of the scriptures along with it, you know, redemption and who God is and things, you miss out on a lot. And so that's what we've been enjoying, trying to focus on the gospel-centered side of the picture versus just the stories, and it's been a lot deeper for them. And in church, I told Chris, I was like, I preach hard today.
I had quite a few families in both services.
That was good. It was
too.
pretty full.
It's
Pretty
nice.
much everybody was here today, I think, except for on him meeting. They're still sick.
Two couples I think were missing that are regular.
And Larry and Flora had to go to the wedding, but they came for the baptism, but not for church. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had one back that had been out for a couple weeks, but yeah, it was good. I preached this morning on division among your family over Christ and how to handle that practically in a lot of ways, especially with holiday get-togethers coming up, Christmas parties and things with their families, and a lot of people here do that. So just kind of ways to do that. I know people here in the church. I know their families. I know they have a lot of differences, and saying, hey, you know, you can't change them, but try and keep the door open to love them and share the gospel and
It's
and
not
things
a
like
reason
that,
to just like, you know, shake your head and
you're not here to just
fussing
cut
at
them off.
and
Yeah, we're not
cut
here to condemn
off.
them or cut them off. We're here to love them and try and share the gospel with them in a real way when we can.
We
Let
definitely
it
have
be
some in
natural.
our church that are in that
I'm gonna
situation.
sneeze now. You want to take the phone because I'm gonna sneeze.
They
Sorry.
wanna cut off the family because of their life decisions. Like there's one that has a daughter who is gay, and they're trying to decide where the balance is on how much time you
Thank you.
how much time do you spend investing? How much time do you do holidays? And what if they bring the girlfriend over? And you know, just various aspects. Where is balance when you're living with people who are sinful? And we go through the same thing with our
Sorry, come back.
with our own lives. We have to decide where our boundaries are, where they're not, right? And so
Yeah.
we were talking yesterday a lot with Bob and Karen about this as well. Like, how do you live righteously in a world that's very sinful?
Yeah.
And you can't protect and prevent all the things, but you can still live righteously among that.
Found one.
They're tired. But yeah, they I lost my train of thought now.
Living in the world.
Yeah, I
And not of the
just
world.
trying to live in the world, but without being so shocked at all the things, but
Yeah.
at the same time not okay with all the things either.
Yep.
And learning this is why we do this, and we not. And it's like it's actually a really good example of what not to do versus I can't believe they did this sinful thing.
Yeah.
No, it's normal they did this sinful thing because they are of the world.
I think we're learning a lot of things about the
Okay.
fact that the culture is not our enemy, and people are going to live the way they're going to live because they don't know God. And the only way they're going to change is if they ever get to know Him, and truly have a change. And if we can't get to the point of being able to share that with them at all, why would we ever expect them to change? Why would we cut them off before we can even get them the gospel? We set our boundaries in place. We set things we will and won't do and will and won't accept. So we have to do that lovingly, and we have to live where we are based on our beliefs and our standards and our convictions. Especially if we know they're biblical, we have to do that because that's our standard for everything. But we can still love them through that. We don't have to do it in a hateful way, and leave the door open to love them and serve them any way we can inside of our biblical convictions. And so that's something we're walking through and learning a lot about
That's
that
too
lately.
much, Joshua.
So we're also doing that here, just in the world around us, as well as people in the
I
church
said
and
it's too
families and
much,
everything
Joshua.
else.
Put
And
it
so
away.
they're trying to eat all. They want to eat all the
Yeah,
peanuts.
they're gonna be done. There's
Peanuts,
like
yeah.
an entire. I've seen the
Well,
Sam's jars of peanuts.
Yeah, we buy those and we eat them, but we don't eat all of them at once.
But when Benjamin has them, he eats them. He's the same kid that
He
that
likes
got
the
caught in the
peanut butter.
pantry with the
Yep.
peanut butter,
Yep.
and more recently the mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, eat mayonnaise, yeah. Ew, yuck.
But no, we were talking about the other day. How do we do that, especially with our kids? Like, how do we prepare them for living in the world without going and exposing them to every little thing so they're not shocked by it?
Yep.
And we very much believe that one of the keys to that. There's the kid crying.
Because he took away the peanuts.
Because of the peanuts.
Yep.
And they're crying. There's a reason why we have a lot of conversations about these things. This is what to expect, what not to expect. So, you don't take everybody and just expose them to the worst things you can expose them to, but you also don't never talk about it either. There has to be balance.
Yep.
So.
And so we're just
So it's the
walking through
same
that
whether you're
because
doing it
we're
with a
now
family or whether you're doing anything else. So.
getting to the teenagers, so we're starting to walk through that with them. So
Yeah.
if you have any advice on that stuff, you can, like, let us know, because we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, we have no clue.
Like yesterday, the kids were invited to their first birthday party.
Oh yeah, birthday. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's another big birthday.
It was with a 12-year-old in the neighborhood, and they're not necessarily like-minded in their beliefs. So we knew that at a birthday party there could be any number of things, and there were a few that were not necessarily something that we would support, but it was there, and it wasn't anything extreme. It was something just very normal. And just helping them walk through that. Yep, that's normal. And just because it's there, one of the kids asked us about it. I think one of the kids offered for him to use a virtual reality video game system.
Yeah.
And then some was just about how someone was dressed or something like that. And just continue to talk with them. Okay, you could need to, for example, with the virtual reality game, there could be some things there that you don't want to see. Go ahead and walking in your mind. What you would do when that situation comes, and how would you feel about that, and and just being educated before you go into a decision, and decide if you're willing to take that risk or not. And as they're getting into their older teenager years, to help them, educate them to make those decisions.
Not just like, just don't do that, and be like, why?
Yeah.
Because I said so. That doesn't work.
Because he
with
initially told the
teenagers.
little boy, well, there's things that we don't want them to see. Well, while that's true, it's not that we don't want them to see. We want them to be able to have discernment between what is right and wrong.
Yeah.
We don't want them to
We don't
see
want to do it just
something.
because we said don't do it,
Yeah.
or because we said you can't
Or
have that, or
we
whatever.
don't want him to see something and think that it's okay when it was actually not okay. So to have education of what is good and what is not good,
Right.
and at this age they don't quite have that.
And I
yet.
have no idea what virtual reality video games look like, because
Yeah.
that's crazy. You can do
It's
that
not
now.
something I've tried, so we
No,
assume
we
it's
don't. We
okay.
haven't
But
tried that.
we know that the family
We like
lives
Nintendo.
differently than we do. So
We
yeah.
like Nintendo games. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was kind of our week.
But she let him go to the birthday. That was cool because he took them up there and they went by themselves. We didn't go with them, and dropped them off at the wrong park, and then had to go to the other park.
Yeah.
That's funny. They changed basketball courts at the last minute.
They did, but they
But,
had fun,
they
and
had
they
a good
came back so
time.
tired. And then Bob took
Andrew
them
was
for
on the
walks.
floor in the living room,
He
like
fell asleep.
taking a nap. I know.
Andrew
He
fell
was
asleep on the
exhausted.
floor. And then Bob took them for a walk, and
And
then
they
they
were
went
really
playing on the
exhausted.
playground, and then nobody wanted to get up this morning. And then
Big
I
surprise.
I woke up with like my eyes swollen shut, allergies and stuff. I don't think I'm alone. There's
Yeah,
a
pray for her.
church.
She has we don't know what's going on with that still. We can't figure out what's causing it exactly. It's a pain. It's a pain.
It's a pain,
It's literally painful though at times. We can't figure out what
And
the
like a
triggers
face
are.
rash thing that's going on, and
Yeah. It was an allergic reaction.
I put makeup just so it's not like a distraction, but yeah, it's something that.
Still pretty though.
Well,
I like her. I like her face.
But people don't have
And her legs,
any.
but that's for, they're for me. So
People don't have discretion, so they'll be more worried about like what happened to you versus they don't mean anything by it, but it takes away from
Yep.
focus of the gospel and such. So we just still don't know. I'm trying to find an appointment. Don't really know what the
Yeah.
issue has been more than a year.
yeah, dealing with this
Battle.
kind of stuff is a mess. It's a mess. We're trying to figure it out. So pray for her about that.
Yeah.
So we have, let's see.
The pastor that we were talking about, he was going to like Texas to a treatment center. And
Yeah,
getting
the Bob,
these
and then they're going to like
full detox, all kinds of stuff going on.
yeah,
so.
stuff we can't find here.
There's
They don't do that here.
I don't know if we've shared before, I have some thyroid issues that are going
I
on,
think we
and
have,
then
no. I've talked about that.
yeah, my thyroid is functioning, but antibodies are there and attacking it. The doctor says I don't need medication I don't need medication right now, that my thyroid is functioning, and whatever symptom I'm having is not related, but I don't know if that's true or not.
It's hard to tell here if they're doing
to
their
tell.
full work on anything.
Yeah,
Because the doctors
suspecting
here
some food sensitivities. Right
Yeah.
now, they say the next step is something about going to an allergist and then wearing some kind of patches for a couple of days to see if it reacts.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what exactly I'm reacting to. I
Yeah.
already know I have certain allergies.
could be anything from dust mites to food. It could be anything because we have we do everything we can, but our house is still dusty.
Yeah, well,
'cause it's so
allergies is one
dusty
thing,
here.
but sensitivities are a completely different
Right,
ballgame.
right, exactly.
And to
Yep.
identify, it could be anything. So
Pray we can figure it out
Yeah.
before maybe an hour when we go back, but hopefully before we go back to the States. But that way we know what to do when we get there.
Yeah.
If not, we'll have to find people in the States that can figure it out. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so there's that. That's no fun. But hey, we're getting closer to Christmas. Noche Buena service. What, 2 weeks?
yeah, one of the
We'll
couples
finish our
in
Bible
the
study for the
church-
year on Thursday. Will be our last Bible study for the year,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll take a break till January.
And one of the couples in the church made up some goodie bags for the
Yeah, I
kids
saw that.
already.
Andrew's like, they brought an Amazon box. I'm like, what's in the
and this
Amazon
is a
box?
couple, they're so introverted, they don't communicate at all, so it was really sweet for them to do something like
They
that.
do a lot of
Yeah.
things. They don't usually. They just kind of like, oh, here's the
They
thing, and they
care,
walk
but
away.
their personality is very difficult for them
Introverted,
to,
yeah.
very introverted, so
But they
very
stayed for the
educated.
baptism, but they were like over there, like there were people out for too many people, so they were like way over there by their
The
car,
backup, yeah.
over by the wall. I saw.
I
it.
think
It's
she
great.
was talking to the kids a little bit, but that was
Yeah,
her
that was
cover.
great.
Yeah.
He's got like 5 minutes talking. I'm done. All right. He told me to go. He's like, yeah, I talked to people for 5 minutes after church. That was hard.
Yeah, if any of you are introverted,
was like, "Good
you
job."
understand that that's
Yeah.
a big deal.
But they're a good help in the church. They help us with a lot of things. And he does my audio now for our podcast. He's editing all my audio, which is great because he managed to take. We had a hum, which drives my dad crazy. Drives me crazy. We had something wrong with the sound system, a cable loose or something, and he managed to get all of that out of there and make it sound good, except for the part where I was actually talking. You know, he can't fix that, but.
You're looking up your nose
audio-wise.
again.
It's better.
No, tilt the screen.
Tilt screen down. Sorry. Anyway, like, talk and hold screen at the same time. I can't do that. It's like too many things. Anyway, so he fixes our audio, and he does a good job with that. And he was in radio for years. So anyway, they brought stuff, and we got gifts ready. We bought gifts for the kids. Santa Claus,
one.
church Santa came early and said, "Here, go buy gifts for the kids." So we
Yeah,
did that
all
for
the
all the
kids
kids
have
in the
something.
church.
We brought up the
We're
idea of
doing
that church sock exchange.
We said,
but they were-
raise your hand if you want to do a sock exchange. If you're like,
nobody.
I have socks and whatever. I'm like,
Yeah, it didn't seem like it's a big deal.
I'd show
We
'em.
are considering separate from the church, though. We know a couple of people who are struggling because they miss what it's like stateside during the holidays.
Yeah.
We're considering doing like a movie night at our house or something, and
Yep.
maybe cookies or something, just American style, like
American
It's a Wonderful
Christmas.
Life.
We're doing because Noche Buena is very, very Puerto Rican. It's not American, and we'll sing. in
Noche Buena
Spanish
is
and
Christmas Eve.
Christmas
but,
Eve, yeah.
But they have a tradition of making sure you go to a service on
Yeah, it's a
on
big
Christmas
church
Eve.
service every
Very
year.
big deal.
Yep.
And it's almost as big as, say, Easter or Mother's Day or something
Yeah.
like that. It's not going to be Christmas Day. It's going to be Christmas
It's
Eve.
Christmas Eve day,
Yeah.
and so we do that morning. But we're going to do something maybe at our house or something for the Americans that are here that if they want to do something with us. And we had watermelon this morning. It was good.
Yeah,
Not donuts,
Elena
watermelon,
came,
way better.
Elena came right from the market and brought. She's a lady from Ukraine. Going to the market is very important to her, and a part of her lifestyle. And she believes in healing of her foods and stuff. And we believe there might be a little bit of a new agey spiritism type stuff going on
We're
with
just
her. But we don't know
talking
yet.
to her. We're starting to talk to her
She's
a little
very
bit.
new.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, she brought watermelon, and she likes bringing gifts. She likes to share, and so.
So she brought us, and we were like, "I don't even have a knife." As somebody went out of her car, she came back in with a knife, and she said, "Did you hear what she said?"
No.
She's like, "I'm stabbing Putin." I'm like, "Okay."
Wow.
She's from Ukraine.
She's
so-
from Ukraine.
Yeah, I get it.
So she has family there. So.
But she brought it in. So we had a baptism, came back in, the church smelled like watermelon. I'm like, "Do you guys have watermelon in December?" No, we do in Puerto Rico. So there you go.
Good stuff.
And this tastes like summer watermelon. It's delicious.
The floor was pretty sticky from it.
Sorry, you had to clean all that up. Yeah, I didn't do that. I just went back to preaching.
It's okay.
Timer ran out. I went back to
And
preaching.
there was no
and there's
coffee.
my nose again.
And there was no coffee left.
I'm sorry, there's no coffee. I'll make her some coffee when we get home. I have iced coffee in the fridge.
Yeah.
Iced Puerto Rican coffee. I'll make you something yummy. Because you worked so hard this morning.
Sounds good.
And because I love you.
Aw,
Yeah,
showing off
I
the
am.
camera.
I am because I'm on camera. They seen too much of my nose already.
Okay.
So we're going to get our nose out of your business now. Haha.
We should probably, they're talking about somebody picking up a box with a chicken in it or something.
What? Oh, they're not chickens. They're guineas.
Oh, okay.
They're guinea fowl.
Guinea fowl.
They're not chickens.
They're
And,
fascinated.
I thought they were turkeys, but
They
they're
were
not.
trying to throw watermelon rinds.
Yeah, they're seeing what they'll eat. They'll eat everything. But so we'll go out there and see what they're going on. But so look for later on this week. We'll post baptism video, and we will post Christmas light video because we're gonna go do that on Thursday. So later on this
And
week.
then any other happenings that may or may not
Yep.
happen as
And,
we
you
get
know,
closer to
parranda,
Christmas.
parties, noise, just random stuff going on. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for keeping up with us. We're having fun doing SASS videos. We decided we like doing this. It's kind of fun every week. And so if you watch them, we don't really care. We're going to do them anyway. But we like it when people watch them.
Yeah. And as we said before, if there's something you actually want us to touch on the island, something that you want have questions,
Something
or
about our church, something about how we do things.
tell us to stop rambling so much.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a timer on my screen, so we know exactly how long we've been rambling for.
Yeah, but they may not.
They don't care.
like it. They'll be like, shut
That's why I put Jeremiah at the beginning of the video, so they'll watch it. I'm smart. I learned. We'll see you guys before next Sunday. Next SASS will be next Sunday, but we'll see you guys before that on Thursday. And when we put the baptism video, share it with other people in your church and let them see what's
God's
going on
working
here.
here.
Yeah, God's definitely working. The church is coming
It's
together.
not just
exciting.
politics.
No, definitely not. It's much more than that. We're having a great time. English and Spanish, everything's growing. People are coming together, and that makes for a great Christmas. So, God bless. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Speakers.
That's not even Christmas. That's just noisy.
That's reggaeton.
Reggaeton. That's music is what that is. Anyway, I'm my arm back now. Say goodbye,
Bye.
everybody.